As we come down the stretch of the end of a season, usually where teams are positioning themselves for the draft, especially among the quarterback needy teams, is always something to be watched as far as storylines are concerned. However, I think it is important to say amongst the teams that you would pinpoint as saying, hey, they need to go draft a quarterback, the Raiders need a quarterback the most amongst these teams. As you look at Tankathon currently, the Raiders have the second pick. They are sandwiched by two teams that seem to have had their quarterback of the future, joining them at 2 wins on the season. Then you get into Cleveland, the Jets, and obviously Arizona and New Orleans. There can be a case made that all four of those teams could use quarterbacks from that perspective. However, I do truly feel that in addition to the Raiders being the chief among them at the 2-win teams that need a quarterback, I think you could say that the Jets, Arizona need the quarterback more so than Cleveland and New Orleans. The reason being for the Cleveland Browns, who had an excellent 2025 NFL draft class, ultimately with rookies like Carson Strauss and Graham has been solid. Crenshaw Junkins has been awesome. Harold Franklin Jr. has been really good for them at the tight end position. Build up the offensive line with those early picks, in my personal opinion, and keep SHEDEUR for another year. This is simply to acknowledge the fact that the 2026 NFL draft seems to be light on quarterbacks with Fernando Mendoza and Dante Moore, obviously at the top of the class. However, are you going to push your way up past some of these teams to try and make that happen, especially if a team like the Giants or Tennessee ends up with that number 1 pick? Are you trading up to make that happen? Or number 2 pick if you really feel that strongly about Dante Moore? So specifically for the Cleveland Browns with SHEDEUR Sanders and the New Orleans Saints with Tyler Shough, based on how this season has gone down the stretch, if their quarterbacks continue to find some flashes and some solid play down the stretch, I think it would make a lot of sense to just roll with them both for just another year and continue on and see where things land a year from now in what theoretically could be a better quarterback class in 2027.